No, there's nothing special. This is all editing lah. This is practically what you're doing is you're just moving your vertices around and then start modeling your changes and so on and so forth. Yes. Oh, the pivot point. Okay. The pivot point again on the object mode. Alright, on the object mode. Then you press insert or K. Is it K on the Mac? Alright. Once you change this, icon will have this one dot and a box there, and it will show all three. Okay. Then you press V and drag it all over to the vertex. It snaps to the vertex. Can or cannot? Thank you. Okay, we'll come back to that. Okay. Alright. The next thing you want to do is you start modeling from here. You add all your details, blah blah blah, and you do all your extrusions and so on and so forth. Okay. Here, if I want to have like a bevel, I can do a bevel here. Right. I go to faces, and then I just have to bring this in, extrude by shifting in. I'll drag this in. I'll just delete whichever part that is not necessarily to be shown or to be separated. I'll just have to delete all this, dude. See that? So now if I want it to be right in the middle, then I have to just drag this to the middle. Right? Simple? Easy now? Okay. That's one way of doing it. If let's say you lose the step of doing something like this, right? Eventually you want to create some more, or you just want to model from, you don't want to do all these duplicates and all that. So first let me do another duplicate. Okay. You can even do this. You see here symmetry, you can on and off. So here if I on this, I will see another, let me see, here just go for object Y maybe. Okay, look for the object whichever, object Z, see that? If I choose one, I choose both of this part. I can do symmetry as well. Okay, depending on which section or where are you looking at. Right, then you on the symmetry, and do not forget to off it after you have already done your editing. If not, it will remain there as it is, the setting, and it doesn't go back to off. Any questions? Yeah? Cutting where?
This one.
Go inside.
Oh, just go inside.
Yeah. Let's say you want to have this one to be inwards. Just have to pick this dude, 1, 2, or shift 1, 2, or hold shift, extrude, extrude back somewhere here approximately, and then bring this dude back to now. The mouth has been closed. Right? So he's a cute little dude who used Botox to show to show the lips, sexy lips. Right. This is what I'm doing now is I am doing it off this grid, which is not in the center. The reason why you have it in the center is when you model, you see how I move my vertex. When I move my vertex, I am approximately moving to the center. It is not exactly to the center. Alright, so if you want it to be center, best is you bring your model, make sure this dude is right in the center here. So the origin will be 0. So example, I'm going to drag this over, Control D, right? I'm going to drag this dude here. I'm going to click this dude. He's in the center pivot, right? I'll go to my front view, push, or my side view, whichever. Okay. Right. So now, if I want it to be center so that it reflects properly, right? So what you have to do is you go here. I just have to do translate 0. Push. See that? It snaps to the center. So later on, when you want to merge a vertex or you want to pull a vertex, it's easy. You know what I mean? Am I making any sense? So if let's say I have example, if I have this dude, hello, pulled like that. I wrongly pulled it, or I edited, modified it. So now if I want to pull back to the middle, see that? It's hard, right? Because you are in assumption that it's going to snap it to the middle. So what do you have to do? Go back to channel box here, alright? By right it should show here. Hello. Hello. Oh. What? Where are you? Sorry, here. Normally it's supposed to show here. Okay, if let's say if I want it to be right in the middle here, see that? Normally this vertex, if it's not going to the middle here, if you can't see it, so you go to attribute editor, go and look for translate, which will be, hey, tell you what, this is shader, tessellation, blah blah blah. Where are you? Not here. Oh, that's my damn. Okay, sorry, my bad. I'm gonna pick this and then I'm gonna, in 3ds Max it's much more easier because you will straight see this, the movement. You can just move it elsewhere, but you can't move it here. You have to go back to your channel box and then move it. So eventually if you want to show this, you go for object mode, make sure you delete your history. Where are you? Edit, delete by type, history, kapush, vertex. If you don't see anything much here, you go here, move it to 0. That. So now if I want everything to move to 0, I just have to select every single thing which is the middle point here, the vertex. If I want to combine it and make it into 0, just press 0 around here on the 0. It snaps to 0. If it still doesn't do that, make sure everything is aligned. Alright, by holding scale, by using scale button, alright, option, you can just squash it and make it to the middle. Got it? So you don't need to move one by one. Everything that you're supposed to see here, the channel box, you're seeing it in the modeling toolkit. So this is your, whatever you're seeing here, your tool, your selections and so on and so forth. This is what you're seeing, your translation and all that is showing it here. Okay. So this, when you're using for selection, it won't show much, but if you are using for move, scale, rotation, it will show the settings around here. Yeah. You don't need to go to channel box. Before you have to go to channel box. Now they have taken it out because you just have to focus on the modeling toolkit. Everything is there. Right? So please bear with me. I was using Maya 3.0 up to now. So there's a lot of things, new stuff that has changed. Okay. So if you want to move something like this, it's a lot more easier. Can you see that? Alright. If you're go for somewhere here, if you have modeled somewhere off the grid middle point, the origin, if you want to move this specifically here, see, it's quite difficult because you don't know what is the exact value is. Another way that you can do is you can choose the other one, the other vertex that is right in the middle, which you're going to align to. Just choose this, copy the value, and then paste it on this dude. Okay, so maybe 5.16. Okay, clear? Any questions? Yes, no? No, yes? Super basic, right? This one? Okay, now let's go back to preview, perspective view. So you guys can model already for this? Give it a try, yes. Can? Better. So if you're going to model something like this, normally the common way of doing, those who are just starting, they don't want to do with all this other separate models to be replaced. They just want to do it like from a clay modeling kind of technique. There's another way of doing it. Okay, you straight away start with box modeling, right? Which you first shape and then eventually you pick this dude. You can make it as a round curve, or you can add, you can just extrude this, shift, hold shift, extrude this, see that? Becomes curve, and then eventually you can extrude. This, any face, or here, extrude. How do you extrude? The last time you have to press Ctrl E or Shift E. Now it's easier by holding shift. Make sure it's in the middle. Okay, your pivot point, you have to remember. This green is for Y. The blue is for Z. Okay. The red is for X. And the yellow here in the middle is freeform. Okay, it's uniformly scaling everything together. When you're moving freeform anywhere if it's in the middle. So any software that you're using, any 3D softwares that you're going to use, if you're picking from the middle, it will just go freeform. But if you're choosing any of this direction, it will only lock to that direction. Understand? So like this, especially here, if you want to do like, hold shift and then extrude like that, it's not going to happen properly. So you have to do some little bit of exercise, testing. I would strongly suggest anything flat like this, and then you want to insert the whole face. What do? Just press in the middle because it's flat. Hold shift, press in the middle, let's make it uniformly. Understand? This one you have to test and see. Okay? And then eventually from here on, you add some details. Again, hold shift. I get that. The eye has been built. So now, if I want to have multicut for this dude, So what do? I want to have segments, because currently what happens, if I press 1, this is what happens. There's not enough room for it to lock down that position. So now what it does, if you press 3, try to understand this with simple stuff first. Okay? So you go back, and when you're doing modeling, you always try with simple stuff before you go for details. Try to understand what does smooth do to a surface. Okay? So I go back to number 1, I want to add more segments. And I press number 3, go back again. Again, this time I use Multicut. Where are you, Mr. Multicut? Right? Go here, hold control. I will add in the middle here. See what happens. Hey. Here. Yay. Okay. If I want to go closer, see that? I can do that. I press 1. Sometimes it is too near. Hold that. I'll make it even more closer. Okay. Once I click this, I press V. See that? Now can you see? Right? It's all about cutting, extruding. That's what you're doing in 3D modeling. Okay? Simple as that. Any questions this far? No. Can work with anything. Any mesh.
But the side facing the other one makes do not have a face in between.
Meaning? Like this. Okay. Like that.
Yeah, like on that side. Must not be any face. In the
Hold on. Like this. You're saying?
yeah.
Yep. Try to avoid that. Why is because when you're doing this, what happens? If I have this, okay, example, you are trying to combine these two. I'm going to do another duplicate special here. Okay, so you see in the middle here, redundant meshes. You don't need that. Okay, because when you want to do merging, okay, I delete this. If I want to do a merge, like here, see this mirror here, right? Just hover through with your cursor on top here. All the tools is there, or under mesh tools. Edit mesh here. You got a mirror here. Want to look for it. You mirror now. See, you cannot. Go here, mirror to what axis? Y. See, it will mirror lah. Okay. Then when you finish your texturing and all that, you will see suddenly unwanted vertices unnecessarily being there. And when you are doing your UV and texturing, this is where your texture becomes stretched or distorted. Right? You have to make sure that it's clean. Anything that is impeding from one model to another, if it's going in, if it's now overlapping, you don't see, if you're not going to see any of this overlapping meshes, you have to delete it. That's the technique. You don't want redundant meshes that is not seen to be inside that, or modeled or detailed up. Make sense?
And then so after mirroring it, then merging.
Once you do this, when you mirror it, it's already merged. It becomes one. Yeah. You see this here? Okay. If I don't have this, bring it here. I'm going to choose these two. I can even combine this. I can still combine the instances. Okay. Oh yeah, the technique is again, if you duplicate special, even if it's instance, you don't need to go and delete it and do back again. Just combine it. Done. Last time you cannot combine because it's instances. Especially when you are playing with other softwares, you cannot combine it if it's instance. Sorry. 2016 onwards you can combine already. Because instances, it captures the same, whatever you're doing here, it remains, it captures whatever information that you're, whatever translation, anything modification you're doing on the right hand side, it captures the same thing. So when it's instance, it becomes, it's not an object standalone, it's just a mirror. So when you combine it here, it straight away makes it into one mesh. And then you delete the history, done. Okay, so it's a lot more easier now compared to those days. Yes. Yes. So when you combine it, you will still have vertices that is not joined together or collapsed together, right? When you combine it, so mirror technique, it will straight away, it will combine, right? Vertices, it will merge the vertices. But combine, it is just combining one object to another without merging the vertices. Okay, so I can go here, I can pick this, I can even combine this. See that? It becomes one mesh. So why do they use combine? Combine is for rigging and so on and so forth. You add bones and all that after you finish the whole, let's say the whole robot you have already done. You got separate what they call meshes. You're going to combine it so that it's easier for you to rig, attach the segments to the bones. That one will come later. Okay, combining an object to become one, it's easier, and then when you export, it becomes one object, easy for you to export as an FBX or OBJ object to be placed, to be brought over to different software or engine. Normally for game engines and all that, they combine it. The last thing they do, right? Before they do their rigging. Make sense? Okay. So if you combine like this, let's say you are using combine technique. So what you can do is you can drag this over. Okay. Pick all this, all the vertices to be safe. Okay, you pick all this to see whether the vertices is joined together or not. All right, you press number 3. Okay. Okay, number 1, you won't see much. Correct? Let me just isolate this dude. Where are you, Mr. Isolate? What? I'll just put it in a, I'll just drag it over. You can isolate it, right? See, isolate selected object, control 1. You want to. Why? What's so funny about it?